Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 71 and 1 Ragnarok CTF gameplay. Pretty decent gameplay. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to know what the drill is here. Basically, we spawn camp them to ridiculous extents, and I've got a pretty good team on my side. I'm playing with Dragonaut. Dragonaut actually manages to get a 63 and 0 on this game also. He's using the Mantis, so in my opinion, it's a little bit disgraceful, but you know, you can't really go wrong with a 63 and 0. I don't think I've seen anyone get that higher flawless in quite some time. I think Capture My Flag got something like a 67 and 0 or something like that. That's pretty decent. But either way, we were just absolutely destroying them. We had them pinned down in spawn, and there wasn't really much they could do about it. Before I go into other things, I just want to address why I wasn't active the last couple of days. I don't want to make a big scene of it. It feels like a lot of people are just making commentaries describing either why they've been inactive or why they don't like Halo 4 at the moment or why they aren't playing it. And that sucks. Like, as a viewer, you know, it's sort of like if you turned on the TV one day and your favorite characters in your TV show started explaining why they hated being in The Simpsons or being in Futurama. It would make no sense, and you know, if YouTube's trying to compete with TV, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed and, you know, just eliminated, really. You don't want to turn on YouTube and be hearing someone talk about, you know, their plans. I don't know, me personally, when I get really frustrated when I come onto someone's channel and their video is about why they haven't been doing something, and in doing so, you know, they're taking away from the fact that, no, sorry, they're adding on top of the fact that they're not doing anything by not doing anything in that particular video that they're saying. You know what I mean? Confusing. Anyway, I'm about to get an absolute monster ninja here, by the way. Like, I was originally just going to put music over this because it's Christmas and I didn't really feel like doing a commentary. You know, obviously I'm spending time with family. Mostly I'm just gaming, actually, because funnily enough, my Christmas present was getting better internet, which is very, very awesome for me because, you know, I'm not going to say it's anything really special and most people would still scoff at it, but I used to have a 0.2 meg, now I'm going to have like a 0.8, potentially even higher download. So that's really cool for me, and it's internet to myself also. If you guys didn't know, my family kind of hog my internet a little bit, especially when my brother gets back from university. He has a tendency to download a bunch of torrents, and that gets really, really annoying. And watch a lot of Netflix as well, but this time I've got this internet to myself. I'm not letting anyone else use it. I'm going to be very, very selfish with this internet, and hopefully it means that I can bring more videos to you guys, I can upload more regularly, and get better gameplays, because I'll be getting into, you know, lobbies that aren't just an absolute lag fest. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit over-optimistic, and maybe my connection will still suck. That's a hard sentence to say. You know, because obviously I'm from the UK, it's quite hard to get really decent connection games from the UK. But seeing as dedicated servers are next gen, I really don't think I'll be seeing any problems with gaming anymore, and that's awesome. That's obviously gonna, like, you know, make stuff more worthwhile, make gaming more worthwhile and more competitive for me, because I'm not worrying about whether I'm gonna lag out the game or whatever. So why I haven't been on the last couple of days, I went to my friend's house, and we ended up playing a bunch of games. They've been playing League of Legends. I'm going to be honest with you guys, League of Legends is 100% not my scene. I might get into it just to, you know, play with friends. Obviously, I actually watched a few League of Legends tournaments whilst I was around his house being live streamed, and I've got to say, the levels of hype for that game are just insane. But I wasn't sat there watching it going, whoa, this game looks insane, man. The competitive level that they're playing at this at is insane. I was thinking to myself, oh, damn, this would be so awesome if Halo 4 had the streaming capabilities that League of Legends did and the viewership. Because personally, for me, especially from a spectator's point of view, what's way more exciting to me is seeing someone pull off some ridiculous snipe or some ridiculous capture the flag clutch play. Like, that is just so entertaining to me, and it's a shame because the one time that I was getting into competitive FPS gameplay was probably at when competitive FPS gameplay was at its lowest point, because you know, obviously a lot of games had been taken off you know, competitive, and the only competitive FPS game that we have that we can rely on right now is Call of Duty, and you all know how I feel about that game. It sucks, especially Call of Duty Ghosts. I hate that. Like, I kind of almost revel in being a hater about Call of Duty Ghosts because I just feel like it deserves so much hate, and I just can't wait till games like Titanfall and games like Destiny and games I actually care about, Halo 5, become big in the FPS scene, because that's just going to be so exciting. Because like I said, like, they have post-game discussions and breakdowns of every single little element of the game. The quality is insane. And I was also really jealous of my friend because he has 100 meg internet. And we were able to... I was playing Halo 4 online whilst both of my friends were streaming League of Legends on their laptop HD. And that is just mind-boggling to me, because I can't even watch a live stream at 720p on my internet, like, on its own, whereas they can do it with 2 PCs and play Halo and pull host and destroy. Like, I'm just jealous of anyone with good internet. I don't know what I'm talking about anyway, but so I go around my friend's house and we're just playing games, and to be honest, like, I don't know, I think it was good to take a little break from Halo, because what's also been frustrating is because a lot of my friends have been, like, studying for exams that I play online with, obviously, Silly Solomon, Severed Void. They've been very busy at the moment, and they're my favourite people to game with, and if I don't have them, it's kind of like... It's very hard to get the motivation to play, and I love the game. If I have a full team, you know, what's made me realise today is I've been able to play with a couple of friends, and I got this gameplay, obviously, and it's made me realise that, you know, realistically, if I do have a full team to play, I can play Halo and upload Halo as much as I want. Honestly, I can. But when I don't have a full team to play, the game just sucks to me. Like, it really does. And I've always thought that. I always thought Halo 4 was the game to play with a team. Like, you need a team. And if you don't have a team, they don't have very good capabilities for searching solo, unfortunately. Like, this game is probably the worst game to play solo out of any game I've ever played. And it's so weird that a game that I enjoy so much in a team format can be so bad in a solo format. And, you know, basically, if I get on my own, I play Rumble Pit. But the problem is, I got to a 46 on Rumble Pit on my account, and 46 isn't fun. No, it isn't. It's actually terrible. But I'll be interested to know what you guys have got for Christmas, because Christmas, I didn't really get much. I just got internet. I've kind of got to a point where... Christmas is finally wearing off on me. I used to be the, like, little excited kid about Christmas. Even, like, 2 years ago, I was so psyched for Christmas every time. And part of that is because I didn't really have my own income, if you know what I mean. So I would miss a lot of games early on in the year, and then I'd have to buy them at Christmas. And that was always like, oh my god, I'm getting a new console, or a new game, or a new, you know, piece of equipment, blah, blah, blah. And did you just see that guy get absolutely destroyed then, Michael Bay style? He was hiding behind a car, I was flanking him, and then he just gets demolished. Dragonaut is putting in work with the Mantis. I don't know, like I said, the Mantis kind of disgusts me. But what's funny about Ragnarok is that, you know, we're sitting here spawn trapping them, and it becomes the funnest map in the entire world. When you are the one spawn trapping on Ragnarok, you will have the most beautiful time in your entire life. But when you're being spawn trapped, yeah, Ragnarok is literally the worst thing in the entire world. There is nothing that even comes close to how... I mean, if there was a hell, that would be hell for me. That would be hell. Getting spawn trapped by a Mantis and trying to run out of a base whilst just being absolutely demolished. It's a shame they're not patching anything soon, and it really frustrates me, actually, with 343, is that they actually said in one of their bulletins not too long ago that they were going to patch the game, and they said that they were there's gonna be an upcoming patch. We'll talk about it more in a future bulletin. They said that about, I don't know, 20 weeks ago, maybe less, probably less, I don't know how many, but it was pretty recently, and nothing ever came of that, and I don't think anything will come of that. And obviously, because of playlist numbers being pretty low, I mean, when I look at the playlist numbers now, when I come on Halo, like, they're actually pretty ridiculously low. But what is awesome is that a lot of people have bought it for Christmas, and I've got to be honest with you guys, the Christmas noobs that I have been getting are insane. Like, if you need to get on either Christmas Day, Boxing Day, because a lot of new people are coming on, and they're getting their faces just destroyed, basically. And, you know, that's pretty fun. That's kind of rejuvenated my fun for the game, because there was a point where Halo was becoming a lot harder. Halo 4, it felt like the only people who were playing were the people who, you know, had played for a really long time, and they were loyal to the game, and they didn't want to leave it yet, so they had a lot of knowledge and experience about Halo 4. Obviously, you're going to get some easy players still, especially if you play, like, big team battle with low CSRs, but, you know, for the most part, when I was searching CTF, it was very rare that I'd get against a really bad team. Like, they'd definitely have 2 or 3 good players at the very least. And you know me, I look for the worst players, but I've definitely been getting more competitive recently. Competitive-wise is something that's, like, really opening up to me the more and more I get into it, and Halo 5, hopefully me, Severed Void, and 2 other people, maybe Rapscallion or someone like that. You know, luckily enough, I've met a lot of insane players in the Halo community. It's funny because before you get really invested into the online community, it is easy when you're like destroying people and doing really well each game. It's easy to get into this thought of, oh, I must be one of the best Halo players out there. Like, the only people who are better than me are the pros, blah, 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 and you get big-headed about it. But what's made me realize is, like, there are so many good Halo players, and the spectrum for Halo players is insane. It's madness. Like, you get one player who you think is unbeatable, has one of the best snipes you've ever seen, just unreal, but then you get that player who's a little bit better, that little bit more technically refined, and then you even get better than that, and it just keeps going, and that's what I love about the Halo games in general, is that each game feels like it's completely different, and it always feels like you have something to learn, a new situation to adapt to. You know, it's kind of made me apathetic towards other games, because if you guys didn't know, I used to be an achievement hunter to the maximum. I used to, like, literally play every single day. I got 1,000 gamer score on Left 4 Dead 1, which, if you guys didn't know, that takes killing 57,331 zombies or something like that. And that is very, very, very grindy. I also did the same on Borderlands 1. I would just grind for achievements, and I'd play single-player games ridiculous amounts. And I was one of these people who never understood why people would play something like Halo 3 every day. I enjoyed Halo 3, and I put a fair amount of time into it, but it was definitely not something that I could, you know, come on every single day and that would become my life. And it was the same with, like, a lot of games. And then first Call of Duty came in, and Call of Duty Black Ops 1, that became a game that I played a lot, but I would still mix it up with single players occasionally. But now that I've fully invested into Halo 4, which is the most I've ever played a multiplayer game, I believe. It has to be. I can't really check because I've had so many accounts, but I played it a crazy amount. And, you know, I don't see myself wanting to play any other games, honestly. Like, multiplayer games have so much depth to the point it's ridiculous. Like, everything changes all the time, and it feels like each game is a potential new experience, and you're going to do something different each game. You're going to approach a situation in a new... You're going to get a situation you have to approach in a way that you've never approached it before. And single-player games just can't really compete with me for that. Like, it just can't do it, because, I don't know, like, single-player games... They're kind of predictable, especially in recent years. Like, I think it's a combination of multiplayer games being really good and single-player games getting a little bit worse in recent years, in my opinion. They kind of on the linear side, they kind of handhold you a lot, and the gameplay is a little bit predictable, in my opinion. You know, a lot of the stories in these games are really great, but it's like, do I really want to have to, you know, sit through these middling gameplay mechanics, these mediocre gameplay mechanics, just to have to get to, like, the sweet spot, which is the good story? And because I'm so not invested in the single-player stories, the single-player gameplay, it becomes difficult for me to be invested in the story, because it's like, well, you know, I've just been sitting there just mowing down people, destroying everyone in my path. It doesn't really feel like there's any threat or danger of me screwing this up, so why do I really care about the characters? Like, they're indestructible, let's be honest. And I'm not trying to rag on games as a whole. I'm more ragging on, like, AAA, you know, campaign games, because AAA campaign games are a dime a dozen. Like, even my favorite single-player game recently, Tomb Raider, that was an amazing game, great game, but it still had a laundry list of flaws and problems with it, massive problems, to the point it was like, it almost put me off the game, because it is handheldy. The first hour of the game, you basically, you know, you're just pushing forward on the joystick and doing quick time events, and that stuff just bugs me. Like, and another thing is, you know, you're expected to play a single-player game and, you know, invest enough time in it to be able to get to the sweet spot, as I said. Why do that when I could, like, literally search for a team deathmatch game on multiplayer and instantly be given gratification and a good time? And it's definitely something that frustrates me, because I know that I've missed out on a lot of, like, really good stories and really good lore, and I used to eat that up. Like, that was gaming for me, like, stories, and campaign gameplay, and I know I've missed out on a lot of great experiences for sure, but it's just like multiplayer, I feel spoiled. I feel like, you know, they give me everything I want. It's like a kid being given candy. It's just like, I can't I don't want to have to work for my enjoyment, you know what I mean? And it's gaming. Like, you want gaming to be as easy as possible and as laid back as possible, and that's definitely multiplayer for me. Like, multiplayer, it's just completely like, I put my controller in my hand, sit on a chair, play for an hour, have a whale of a time, get into parties so easily. That's definitely something they need to sort out on Xbox One as well, because Xbox One's party system is a little bit on the terrible side. There's a lot of problems, a lot of bugs, and it kind of loses that simplistic nature of the Xbox 360, and they've gone back in quite a lot of ways, and that's definitely something that they need to rectify, because you don't want to have to turn on your console and feel like you're having to troubleshoot every 2 seconds and make sure everything's exactly where it needs to be, and that's just really, really frustrating. Anyway, I talked about a lot. I just kind of had to get some stuff on my chest, because I haven't actually made a commentary in quite some time. So I did a 16-minute commentary, not sure why. If you guys managed to sit through this, I'd be very surprised if you did, especially considering it's Christmas. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas and your Boxing Day and your, well, we call it Boxing Day. I don't think you have Boxing Day over there, but whatever. I hope you enjoy your Christmas holidays, and I hope you got good presents. Tell me in the comments if you got something really cool. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.